We're back on the early edge, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. And we've got Thursday night football. I know it's Monday, but we got Thursday night football to talk about. We're going to look ahead to some Week 15 lines. Danny Brasco, it's the Falcons and the Bucs on Thursday night. I mean, Falcons coming off a drubbing, the Bucs coming off a pretty bad loss against the Saints. Nonetheless, Bucs are at home. They're favored by 6 in this one. And we've got a 40, and this is dancing around. It's 6. It's opened at 6. I think it's 5.5, even 5 in some places. And the total's dancing around that 44.5 to 44 range. What's your initial take on this game, Danny?
I think I would grab the under at 44.5. This is a total that should have gone under in the Falcons' last game against the Seahawks, but some crazy turnovers and kick return touchdown and variance caused it to just go slightly over. But these teams in this kind of NFC South clash, outdoors now, not in the indoor environment of Atlanta, but outdoors in Tampa, where it's been ugly. The field got beat up in the rain in their last one. Now they go back to that ugly field on a short week. I think this could be another ugly one. The Bucs are going to be missing their left tackle, Tristan Wirfs, and the Falcons are getting really good pressure, top 5 in QB pressure rate this season. So I think Baker could be under duress in this game. Meanwhile, I just don't believe in Kirk Cousins anymore at this point. And I think these defenses set up to be in an ugly one. And, you know, what could be, like I said, sloppy field conditions. If they don't get that right, this game goes under.
Mike, I like the Falcons here, and I'll get to your pick in just a second. But I think 5.5, 6 is a little too much. I think if it was 4, I would maybe lean to the Bucs there. Again, division game, Bucs not playing super well, have some injuries to deal with. I understand it's Kirk Cousins on the other side, but this defense can get after you. And of course, they still have the running game. So I'm going to actually take the points for the Falcons, like reluctantly, but that's what I'm going to take. Mike, you also like the under?
Yeah, I would lean under. We'll acknowledge definitely a must-win game on the side of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this point after their recent stretch. Should get Mike Evans back out on the field for this one, which will be a little interesting to see. But I am concerned about the offensive line holding up. I think it's a competitive one. 44 becomes the most key number in the National Football League. I think that this is kind of a 23-20 game, 23-17 game. So the only way I could look here would be the under.
Let's talk about a Week 15 side that we want to bet. Perhaps right now, Mike, I'll start with you.
Give me the Buffalo Bills. I like the Bills in this big matchup with the New England Patriots. Look, the way Buffalo won that game in the second half, really in the fourth quarter against the Cincinnati Bengals, that to me is the kind of run and momentum to like really spark a run here for this Buffalo Bills team. It's obviously a huge matchup head to head. I think that Josh Allen's in good shape here. Finally getting the tight end, Dalton Kincaid, back, I think is going to be a huge deal. And just another week having a guy like Gabe Davis out there. I know they had him on the practice squad a lot of the year, but still some chemistry from previous years. I think good things ahead for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think this Bills defense is actually pretty bad, but the good news for them is they have Josh Allen on offense, and he just has to be Superman. And I know that sounds like a tall order, but for Josh Allen, not so much. So I totally understand the take here. Danny, talk to me about the Packers money line coming off their nice win against the Bears.
I like the Packers at -120. They're playing the Broncos here. And really, to me, it's the same sentiment as Mike laid out, that momentum coming off that Keyshawn Nixon game-sealing interception win. I think the Packers are ready to find their form. We've been waiting for them to really become elite. I thought they were going to be the best team in the NFC, but just kind of stumbled through injury and weird games, bad decision-making, I think, from LaFleur here and there. Finally, I think this defense is in elite form, and they're going to give Bo Nix and the Broncos some trouble. Nix hasn't really faced too many elite defenses this year, and if they can stop the Broncos' rush attack, they could find themselves in trouble. So I know the Packers are hitting the road as favorites in Denver, but I think they win this game and prove that they're the better team, actually.
I think you're right. I think I'm going to be on. Certainly, I like the Packers here quite a bit, actually. I think Denver, I don't think they're fraudulent. I just don't think it's a very good team. So certainly not what their record indicates. Let's go to mine. Mine's the Seahawks. Last night, this was 10.5. They were laying 10.5 against the Colts. Obviously, Seattle at home here. This is gone up to 11.5. And Mike, I think you might have alluded to it earlier in the show. I mean, this might, or somebody did, this might go to 12, could even go to 12.5, 13. The state of the Colts is just not very good right now on either side of the ball. So I think the Seahawks run away with this one. I'm happy to grab this at 10.5. I would even grab it at 11.5 where it stands right now, probably up to 12.5. I do think this one is going to get away from the Indianapolis Colts. Let's talk about a Week 15 total that you'd like to bet. Mine is going to be, I'll just get mine out of the way. Vikings, Cowboys under 48.5. I respect this Brian Flores defense quite a bit, so I don't think Dak is just going to have carte blanche to just chuck it around. I think they'll lean into Javonte Williams. I don't see a lot of scoring on the Minnesota side against a much better defense this week than they faced last week. So 48.5, just enough points for me to want to take the under. I would probably make this 47, maybe even 47.5, certainly not 48.5. Mike, talk to me about an over in the Panthers-Saints game.
Yeah, give me an over. It's a dome game, controlled environment. The total's 40.5. I cash an over ticket at 24-17, a routine score in this division, but it's the stakes of the game. It's the Carolina Panthers, who are potentially division winners, playoff bound. Like that's the opportunity that they have here. This is a must-win game for them because they're right there tied with the Tampa Bay Bucs. But guess what? They haven't played each other yet. They play each other 2 times in the final 3 weeks of the season. Just absolutely incredible drama coming up in this in this division. But I think Carolina goes out there and tries to leave no doubt. I think it's a huge opportunity. I think they keep the foot on the pedal if they're having success. And we've seen teams, the Saints, we've seen them push against a number of teams. I think they do it again. Give me the over.
Danny, let's move forward to a Week 15 side total or prop that we're waiting on. And what's so interesting is yours pertains to the Dolphins. The reason I say that's interesting is how I led the show. The Dolphins are 6-7. The Kansas City Chiefs are 6-7. If you had told me that was going to be the case 6 weeks ago, I would have laughed directly in your face. Talk to me about the Dolphins this week.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm going to the well here, but I actually think I can't wait on this. Plus 3.5 is turning into +3 on a lot of books. I think they're live to beat the Steelers here, who a lot of people might bet coming off that big Ravens win, but the Dolphins defense quietly playing very good ball, and their rush attack is solving the problems. They're hiding Tua's inefficiencies. I think the Dolphins can at least cover a field goal on the hook spread, but they're live on the money line as well in this game.
All right, Mike, I'll close this out here. Talk to me about the Lions.
Yeah, I like the Lions if you can get to 6 on the road, but still their baseline. We love this team when they play in a dome in a controlled environment. We already saw Amon St. Brown play against the Cowboys. I think that was a huge stepping stone for this team. We see the Rams at kind of an all-time peak right now. I think it's a competitive one-score game.
All right. We like the Lions plus 5.5, waiting on a potential +6 against the Rams. That's going to be a great game to watch. If you enjoy this conversation, I mean, you can find Mike and Danny Brasco really everywhere. CBS Sports HQ, CBS Sports Network, the SportsLine YouTube channel, also in the SportsLine members only Discord. If you're a SportsLine member, you get the SportsLine members only Discord server for free. We've got thousands of people in there talking about really anything pertaining to any sport. We've got a channel for it in the SportsLine Discord. You're talking UFC with Danny Brasco, we've got it. You're talking NBA, WNBA, NFL, college basketball, MLB. We've got a chat for you. It's in the SportsLine members only Discord.